Today's video, we're going to talk about how to get Google reviews using automated software and how this is going to get you tons more 5-star reviews. And yes, 5-star, not just any reviews, but 5-star reviews, hundreds if not thousands of them for your business. And this is going to increase the profitability of your business massively. I'm going to talk about just how much. If you stay to the end of the video, I've got a real case study here where we use the software, and I'm going to talk about the difference by market here that you can expect in the number of reviews and the review score you're going to get once you start using this software I'm going to cover in this video. So make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to tell you just how much of an increase here you're going to get for your business. Okay, so what this software is a software that'll allow you to automatically reach out to all your customers in a very systematic way that'll get you more reviews. Ultimately, the magic behind getting more reviews in your business is you have to ask. That's number one, which you probably do now if you're serious about reviews, or maybe you don't because it's annoying and you don't like asking. I've heard a lot of clients of mine say that as well. But when you ask, it's how you ask, what script you're using. Ultimately, what kind of follow-up do you do? Do you just ask once and they say, yeah, I'll do it, and they don't really do it and you don't follow up? This matters so much in terms of the number of reviews you're going to get. It's not even funny. Of which, that's where software, specifically the software that I'm covering in this video, comes in and it shines. Ultimately, you are with this software that I'm talking about, which is a software packaged with the service that they ultimately are going to, based upon your business type and them being an expert at writing email/SMS copy to get the maximum response rate when you reach out to a customer and getting a review. They're going to write a custom message for you based upon what they know works from working with hundreds of other companies like yours in maximizing reviews. They're going to come up with a script. They're going to then use that script in the software to then send that script to every one of your customers. And they're going to then follow up each one of your customers when they don't leave a review yet, at least several times, which is important in getting the review. Ultimately, it's just like with sales. If you don't follow up, you're not going to get half the sales as you would otherwise doing follow-up. This is the case and regardless of what industry you're in. And in this case, you're selling the customer that you have on leaving a review. Yes, it is a sale ultimately. So if you just leave it to your staff to ask, and this is simply outdated. You can now use the software to automate this, and more importantly, you're not just saving time, you're going to get a ton more reviews than you're going to get by simply asking for them. Multiple factors more reviews. I'm going to talk about exactly how much, but before I dip into the numbers here, this software that I'm talking about here sends a text and an email to each one of your customers, given that SMS is the key way to get people to respond, not email. Email helps, they add that in as well, but it's not just email. And what they'll do is they'll link up your CRM system or whatever the lead system you have that tracks leads coming in and customers coming in up to the software, which pulls all your customer data so that they can then fire off these emails and SMS messages to your customers in order to get them to leave you a review at the highest rate possible. In addition to this, like I said, they're going to write your email and SMS template, having these people have heavily tested these emails to know exactly how to get you the best response. And then also there's a filtering function, which is optional, of course. What they're going to do is they're going to put you in a position to where you're not just getting tons more reviews, but tons of 5-star reviews, or at least 4-star. And they do that by, when they send the email/text to your customers, they're going to ask for the review. But what you're doing is you're asking via that software, you're asking for the review, not in Google directly. So it's just like you would do in person, right? What would you do normally if you wanted a review? You would ask them for a review. Will you leave me a review? And you would have a general idea if they're going to leave you a positive review before you send them to Google, right? Well, the software is doing the same thing. It's going to ask for the review inside the review platform itself that the software uses. And if you leave a bad review, it's not going to suggest leaving a good review. It's just going to say, what did you feel about your experience? If you rated it at least a 4 or 5, it's going to say, great, we would love you to leave us a review on Google. If not, it's just not going to suggest doing that, which I know that's a little bit shady for some people, but in my mind, it's not, because ultimately what you're doing here is you're getting data on who's pissed off, who's not. If they're not pissed off, there's nothing to do other than leave them a review. Your job's done. ultimately. If they're pissed, you reach out to them. Now you know they're pissed, and you could do something about it. So you could say it's bad, but really all it's doing is giving you the data to know who to reach out to and make things right when your sales team, your staff is not going to communicate when somebody's pissed off because they don't want to get fired. You fix those issues, then you ask for the review and you're good. So really it's killing two birds with one stone, so to say, but it has that feature built within it natively. I mean, you don't have to use it. You could just send directly people to Google and just everybody can leave a review and that's it. Or you could just have it suggest leaving a review once the person is satisfied, like I was mentioning. So ultimately that part is up to you, but that is how the software works. And you're getting somebody, again, that's working with you to make sure all this is working. They're going to write the script. They're going to give you a little bit of advice you need and answer your questions to make sure you get the results that I'm talking about here. But I'm going to go through some numbers here that show you just how much reviews you could get using this new system, given that when people generally ask for reviews, they are not doing it. They're winging it. Ask for a review every single time because they sometimes can't ask for a review. And this is going to streamline the whole process. So with that said, I've got 5 different industries here that I've put on this whiteboard to show you the average customer to review rate by industry, so you can kind of see where you fall in terms of the reviews you're getting. And so with that said, starting with the data recovery space. So, basically a company that, if you lose your data on a hard drive and you need it recovered, the hard drive failed, you need somebody to get the data off the hard drive. That's what this is. That industry, they had sent out over 2,200 requests for reviews to these customers. And 2,200 customers, 24% of them left a review, either through the SMS or the email message that they sent out, which is crazy high for a lot of people. I mean, you can get high numbers, a lot of you guys, but is it that high? Probably not. And you're in position now to get not hundreds, but thousands of reviews on Google Maps, which of course is going to not only just in terms of all the ways this benefits you, is it's going to increase your maps ranking. It's going to make your PPC/Google Ads better because I know, because I'm a Google Ads specialist, how your reviews on Google Maps affects your ad profitability, and it affects it a lot. I won't go into detail, in terms of how and how much and all that, but we've had times where a guy's gotten a couple bad reviews in a row, and the results that they were getting on their ads tanked and got cut in half until they were able to fix that. It matters that much. Okay. Then you got your effect on your organic rankings. The algorithm also takes into consideration reviews on that. You also got the actual closing rate on your leads, because a lot of people right before they buy, particularly for more expensive items, like especially if you're spending 4 figures or more, they're going to type in your company name and the reviews after it. And if they don't see what they want to see there, they're not buying. And that's going to affect your closing rates 10 to 30% in and itself. If you've got nothing less than, or nothing more than than a 4.3 out of 5 rating on Google, because that's kind of the cutoff where your closing rates aren't affected at all. And we know this because I've ran studies myself to test how much this affects results, because I wanted to be able to be in a position to tell clients, hey, look, I can't get your results unless you fix this. And unless you fix this, don't complain you're not getting the closing rates that you want, because there's nothing I can do until you fix this. So, and naturally, by the way, with all this said, you should be able to make at least 50% more profit from your advertising budget once you institute this software. When you add up all these individual benefits that you're getting, and that's a conservative number from what I've seen from clients who have racked up a lot more reviews in their companies using a software like this, or they did the same thing manually. The reasons why you want to get more reviews is twofold in terms of how and why it is going to increase your profitability. One, your average reviews, your rating is going to go up. Anything above a 4.3 is going to increase your closing rates and your everything I just mentioned before. But also the number of reviews affects the profitability of your marketing as well. And all these other platforms increases your closing rates. And this software is technically going to do both. It's going to bring up your average review rating, so it's closer to a 5. It's also going to bring up the number of reviews. So that's why it's going to increase your profitability so much. So you absolutely want to use the software to your advantage, or at the very least do this manually. Everything that the software hypothetically can do. But for the most part, it's, a couple $100 a month to use this service/software and it does it all for you, I can't possibly imagine how you could justify doing it manually yourself when it does all of it for you and takes longer than a few hours to do it every month. So there's no saving anything doing it manually yourself for that matter. So I just use the software, simply put. Going back to what I was saying here in terms of the numbers. Now, we had a credit repair company. They were able to get a 17% customer to review rate using this software. We had a property sales company, like a real estate company, 51% customer to review rate, of which I'm going to talk about the before data here as well. But in that case, they had no filter. So if you're in a position where you don't want to filter out the non 5-star reviews, like I was mentioning the software can do, you can get 50% customer review rates if you're in the right industry also, which is insane. The rest of these companies, most companies want to filter, which generally speaking, I would say, because you're going to get so many reviews anyway, why not filter the bad ones out? Or should I say, not filtering, but suggesting that they don't leave a review on Google if they're pissed off, because why would you recommend them to do that? That would be counterproductive. But that is, for that one out of the 5 that I'm sharing, that one had no filtering at all turned on. And then we had an Airbnb rental service that helped rent out properties on Airbnb. They had a 11% customer to review rate, and then also a pool safety certification company of all things, a 39% customer to review rate. So these are very high numbers that you normally just don't hear every day. So you know that the data that I'm sharing here is we got lucky, or this is on a whim here. The amount of actual notifications that were sent out, the number of customers that were contacted here, I also got that information here as well. So for the data recovery company, it was 2,300 roughly notifications sent out from the software. Credit repair, we had 1,500. Property sales company, over 100. Airbnb service, rental service, almost 1,000. And then the pool safety certification company, over 400. So there's enough data here, as you can see here. This isn't luck. This is hard data that you can bank on, you can rely on. Now, in terms of the before data, you may be saying, Corey, this sounds great, but wouldn't I just get a lot of reviews anyway if I actually took my reviews seriously and I started asking for them? Generally speaking, no, because of several things. One, people love telling you to your face that they're going to leave a review and then just never do it. So, and I've talked about on other videos before, when we were doing this manually still, that you need to follow up several times to get them to actually leave a review. Otherwise, they're going to tell you to your face, lie boldly to your face, they're going to do it, and they're not going to do it. Secondly, though, you don't know how to ask for a review. It helps having an expert whose job is nothing but helping you get a review at the highest rate possible when asking, and they can write the perfect script for your industry, for the business that you're in. That's number 2. Those are the 2 main things there. I can tell you from having surveyed my clients, but also checked online and found data online, that about 5 to 10% of the people, if you're asking for reviews manually, you're only going to get 5 to 10% of people to leave your review. And if you're in a B2B market, it's going to be more like 0 to 5%, because people don't want to review a company that they're hiring to improve their business because their competitors might see it, and then it'll defeat the whole purpose of hiring that company altogether. So generally speaking, so you're going basically from 5 to 10% to 20, or, if you will, 10 to 50%. So in general, and to simplify this, if you want to say a typical increase is going to be 2 to 5x, which it's not out of the question to, get a 5x increase in the amount of reviews that you get, even if you're asking people when they come in for reviews manually. Now, if you're not asking people for reviews manually, it can be a 10, 20, 30 times increase just by using the software itself. So you're getting, no matter what, you're getting an increase that's enough to justify and offset the $200 a month in and itself. But if you're not asking for reviews, you're really, really going to get a return on this, if you will. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you should. I've got great information on this channel just like this about how to make your ads make multiple millions a year in sales for your business profitably. And it's because it comes from somebody with 20 years of advertising experience and spends 40 hours a week doing ad strategy at a firm for dozens of clients. I share everything that works and what doesn't work on this channel for free. It's here for you for the taking. I also got a great blog on my site at guaranteedppc.com/blog with step-by-step information on how to actually make money with ads for you. Step-by-step with screenshots, everything you need to use them. You should check that out as well if you like the channel already. If you have any questions, by the way, about anything I'm covering here, you can leave me a comment or question below in the comment section. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. And for that matter, I'm also available in the Discord group that I've set up. We've got guys and gals in there that follow the channel in there that you can talk to, as well as I'm answering questions in there as well. You can find the link to that Discord group in the video description. If you want somebody to just set up your ads already, I mean, this is our bread and butter at our agency. This is what we do for clients. We guarantee our clients results, and that if we are going to agree to work with you as a client, we're going to make sure you get so much sales results up front before charging a management fee. Nobody else does that in our space, of which I'm going to also give you an 8-quarter projection of your results up front, of which if you want that from me, I can give you that for free if you reach out to me at our agency at guaranteedppc.com. I also have ad templates available. If you want to get results in your space, and we've already worked in your space before, we can sell you the winning ad template, landing page template, campaign template that works for your niche market. You copy paste that into your ad account and get the same results we were getting in another city or country for yourself. And without all the heavy lifting that we had to do to figure out what's the best possible way to run an ad in your market on Google, on Facebook, and so forth. And we've worked in hundreds of different niche markets, so the chances are quite high we've already got you the results you're looking for. Reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com if you're interested in that as well. And then, of course, in addition, if you have a one-off question, you want a private phone conversation with me, I have that available. I consult agency owners. I consult regular companies as well. If you want that, reach out to me as well or a firm, and I'll hook you up with that. So with that said, I mean, in summary here, generally speaking, a 2 to 5 times increase in the rate of reviews that you get may not sound a lot if you think about it in the abstract, but I can tell you from personal experience, seeing how much this affects our PPC campaigns of our clients that we manage for clients at our firm, and how much the increase in the MAPS rankings you're going to get alone, despite everything else I said about closing rates and everything else. There's no way that you're not going to get a return on investment on that couple $100 a month and using this software. It's not even a question. 50% increase in efficiency of your marketing budget once you've got this going to kind of support your efforts is a very reasonable, conservative number to give you. I've seen it myself, just how much the reviews are going to matter. Not only the amount of reviews, but also the score, given that going from 1 digit to 2 digits in actual reviews is going to increase your closing rates. Going from 2 to 3 is going to increase your closing rates some more. Going from 3 to 4, some more. Going from 1 star to 2 star is going to increase your closing rates. Going from 2 to 3, you're also going to get an increase. And it goes all the way up the line, if you will. I mean, generally speaking, unless you're at a 4.7 and you're already got 1,000 reviews, this software is going to make you a return on investment. It's just a matter of how much. I will admit that if you're on the lower end of the spectrum, you're at a 1 star right now, this is going to help you more than if you're at a 4.3 right now. Or if you have 500 reviews, it's going to help you more than, or less than somebody who has 5 reviews starting out. But nevertheless, even if you have what you think is a great score and thousands of reviews, I'm going to want to do it just because it's going to defend me against future problems. If you do get a bad review eventually and you're right away burying it with 25 good reviews, it's not even going to affect your business versus just waiting there as a sitting duck, waiting for something to happen, waiting for some guy that wanted a refund when, ultimately you didn't do anything wrong. I mean, now he wins. Why do you want to be in a position like that where somebody can affect your business like that? If you will, if you have any questions, like I said, let me know. But I'm going to wrap it up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. If you want to see another video, click here. It is one of my best ones.